Fred, we've got drama down here. It never rains, but it pours. Billy McConnell, they reported that they had a machine issue. They were changing an engine with the OMG Rich Energy squad, and Skippy McConnell has missed the pit lane cut. He's landlocked at the end of pit lane. The rider that stands, or should have sat on row 2 of the grid, is landlocked, and he's going to have to start from the back. So it's Luke Jones as well. So, just double checking that information. I was told it was. Have you got the binoculars there, Fred? Just double check.
Yes, I can see you're saying Luke Jones as well. Sure.
I was told it was Skippy McConnell. Who should have been next to Tim Neve on
That's Skippy McConnell. The second, Tim Neve and Billy McConnell.
Yeah, well, Billy McKee. Oh, and Luke Jones is being wheeled off. Luke Jones, that was the reason for that, was obviously, I would imagine that's a tyre pressure issue for Luke Jones. Well, poor Luke Jones, I'll tell you what, if Luke Jones was sat next to me on an aeroplane, I would get off. That's the sort of look that this guy has. But the number 82 machine has been wheeled off of the grid, so drama, 2 potential.
So what it means, of course, is, Larry, that he will also start, if it is a tyre issue, a tyre pressure, there is a minimum tyre pressure that is given to the competitors by Pirelli, and it is a minimum. It's not to say that it's got to be that. 1.65 bar, 23.9 pounds per square inch is the minimum. If they are anywhere below that, then they are pulled off of their grid position and told to go into pit lane and rectify it to above the minimum, and then that means that by being in pit lane, they do not start the green flag lap from their grid order, so they've got to start then the race from the back of the grid, and that could well apply to both Skippy McConnell and Luke Jones.
Not sure we've done it yet either, Fred, because there's some conjecture with Matt Truelove as well. Matt Truelove's been wheeled off as well, Fred. I thought there was something happening there. The 59 of Matt Truelove is the second of the riders that failed the tyre issue gauge here. So there we go. 3 potential front runners. Matt Truelove. Oh, he's not happy, is it, Matt Truelove? He's, definitely Teddy's out of the pram there for Matt Truelove. But he has failed the tyre pressure gauge as well. McConnell, Truelove and Luke Jones, Fred, are going to have to start from the back.
The rules are quite explicit. It says that the 3 minutes before the start of the warm-up lap, display the 3-minute board on the grid, the crews of 3 riders on the grid that have been randomly chosen by the MCRCB Chief Scrutineer will be asked to check their tyre pressures, and if they are if they are below the minimum, then they have got to rectify that in pit lane, and that patently is what has happened to 82 Luke Jones and the number 59 of Matt Truelove. They will be starting from the back row of the grid. What's the further news there on Skippy McConnell? That was not a tyre issue with Skippy, was it?
No, I think I'll go and ask the Rich Energy squad, but I think that they were just late attending, Fred, effectively. Just missed the pit lane cut.
There could be more people on the back row of the grid than on anywhere else on the grid, Scoop, at this rate. Well, they are out onto their green flag. 24 laps it will be. 24 laps for this Championship round number, it's Championship round number 3, races 4 and 5 here this weekend. We had 2 races at Donington Park, just the 1 race at Snetterton, and we go then with races 4 and 5 here at Silverstone, before then on to 2 races at Alton Park in 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks beyond that, Donington Park and 2 races, and then the final meeting of the year, just 1 race, whereby that wraps up the 10 race series for the 2020 Pirelli National Stock 1000 in association with Black Horse. Well, what drama indeed. The championship headed by Tom Neve on the Honda. 61 points, just 5 points clear of Chrissy Rouse, who is 14 points, though, ahead of Damon Rees. Not the best result for Damon Rees at Snetterton, a slightly more difficult circuit to learn for Damon Rees. They go through on their second green flag lap. Damon, of course, every circuit is new to the Kiwi, and he, if possible, tries to get a track day in just to familiarise himself with the turns left or right or whatever. But very quick learner of Silverstone circuit, Damon Rees, by virtue of the fact that he qualified second fastest, but did not qualify that well for Snetterton, and indeed it was for Damon Rees. I'm just looking with Damon at Snetterton.
He was a little bit further down, Fred.
Well down, wasn't he?
Incidentally, I've just had a chat with Shannon Etheridge down here from the Rich Energy squad and Billy McConnell's side of the team. They've had to rebuild a bike, new engine, new frame in Skippy McConnell's bike after a big off this morning. They said another 10 minutes they would have made it, but unfortunately they were just a little bit reporting for duty. But that is a brand new machine, new engine, new frame for Skippy McConnell, Fred.
Just making a note of that. That was during the warm-up then for Skippy McConnell. And, well, problem with that, of course, is that totally rebuilt as a new bike. He's had no chance to test it out at speed, handling or the settings or anything else that's going to be, whether they're going to be spot on or not. It will be into the unknown for Billy Skippy McConnell. But he will be starting from the back row of the grid, as also will be 82 Luke Jones and the number 59 rider of Matt Truelove. Coming up to take pole position, Danny Kent, the number 52 rider, took that number because his hero, of course, is certain James Toseland. And Danny Kent, who won 6 races, including Silverstone, en route to winning the Moto3 World Championship back in 2015, running for the Leopard squad with that beautiful baby blue Leopard bike all those years ago. On the centre of the front row of the grid is Damon Rees. Damon Rees with the typical colour there of James Jackson's Racing, and completing the front row of the grid, Chrissy Rouse. Chrissy Rouse on the Phil Crow. The pink and the black of Chrissy Rouse. They make the go, and it is the drag race then on up toward turn number 1. Who's going to get the whole shot? It is Damon Rees. Damon Rees gets the whole shot in toward turn number 1. He emerges from the scrum down to head the pack as they go right-handed. Now accelerate up to well over 140 miles an hour on the run up this first time, up toward the left and the right, then on with the anchors down into second gear here. And Damon Rees is your race leader as they go through Beckett's, and will then be getting on to around about 175 miles an hour. Yes, 175 with these stockers on the run down the Wellington Straight. Let's look to see. And is it Damon Rees that leads? It is. Rees leads this one still from in second place. Then that is Tim Neve. Tim Neve on the Suzuki. That then in fourth place. That is Danny Kent has been pushed back into fourth place because that's Chrissy Rouse who's gone up into third position. And as they settle themselves down, we can give you the rundown as they come through to complete this lap, noticing the first of the 4 riders coming through then to complete this lap. And as they go across the line, then it should be the number 92 Damon Rees to reel up onto our timing screen here ahead of us, just waiting for that to shuffle in. It is Rees, Tim Neve, Rouse, Kent, Tom Neve, Richardson, Hutchinson, Rogers, Rollo, Linford, Allingham, Winfield, Weaving, Hedger, Elliott, Jaycock, Teasdale, Philp, Williams, McNeely, McConnell, Skippy McConnell up to 21st place from the back row of the grid. Then Sheldon Shaw, Todd, Luke Jones, he's up to 24th place. Cooper, Tinmouth, Neve, Hopkins, Tunstall, and Wood being the 30th rider as we go back then with the race leaders. The lap record certainly up for grabs here. This is held by Richard Cooper at 54.866, and this is the first of the flying laps that will give us some sort of an indication as to the race pace that is being set here. But that a remarkable run through by Skippy McConnell at the end of lap number 1. Skippy McConnell already up into 21st position. Here are your leaders coming through. Dan Lifford having a good ride here. Dan Lifford, where did he go through there? Dan Lifford, just seeing where Dan is, running about 9th or 10th as they come through to complete the second lap. Rees has gone through just a whisker ahead of Tim Neve and Chrissy Rouse, beginning to break clear. Rouse, Kent, Richardson, Hutchinson, Rogers, Allingham, Linfoot, Weaving, Hedger, Winfield, Jaycock, Elliott. That's your top 16. And where is Skippy McConnell? He's gone missing. Skippy McConnell has gone missing on the second lap. He's not there. So that looks as if the setup of the rebuilt machine there is... no, he's there. He's there, 17th. He's my 17th place. My apologies to Skippy, just missing him out there. He's up to 17th place. He picked up another 4 places. Billy McConnell up then into 17th position. Luke Jones is up to 22nd, although I don't think that Truelove actually... well, no, he's not in the top 30 at the moment. Let's look real time for the leaders, because here comes the freight train. Damon Rees still leads this one, but looking ominously on the inside there is the number 14 of Tim Neve, one of the twins from Market Rasen in Lincolnshire. Tim Neve, who's had a best result this year of a 4th place at Donington Park. Rees, Tim Neve, Tom Neve, Rouse, Kent, Hutchinson. Cracking ride coming here from Ian Hutchinson on the Edwards 1902 entry, number 44, that BMW for Ian Hutchinson. Then it is number 28, and he's gone back a place. That's Shane Richardson, gone back to 7th place ahead of Fraser Rogers, number 89. 6, Lewis Rollo, the Scottish rider. Then Dan Linfoot goes up to 10th place. He's in the top, and the 10 now is Dan Linford, just ahead of the J&S accessories Aprilia of number 23 David Allingham, Jordan Weaving, Luke Hedger, Winfield and Leon Jaycock, with McConnell running 17th place at the end of lap number 3. Just keeping our eyes open then as they come up there. No jump starts, all clean start. Danny Kemp putting some good laps in here. Now, and that was a rider getting, that was Dan Linfoot, was it? That was getting, yes, it was. I think that was Dan Linfoot then that was forced off of the track. Now, where was that? He looked like he got pushed off the track there, did Dan Linfoot? Whether it was a tank stopper or what, let's just see where Dan Linfoot is as they come through on that particular lap. Is he gone back? No, he's still there 9th. He's still there in 9th position. Skippy McConnell picks up 1 place up to 16th place. Rees, Tim Neve, Tom Neve, Rouse, Kent. Then Richardson moves back and Rollo move ahead of Fraser Rogers. So who did we miss out there? Who, just have a quick check on that one as they came through to complete that lap.
Wasn't Hutchie, was it, Fred?
I think, yes, it is. You're right. No, he's there. 13th place. He is there. He's gone back 7 places. He made the mistake there. Now, it might have been Hutchie that I was confusing there with Dan Linford that got into a tank slapper and went backwards. I think it was Hutchie. And already down on the deck, we've got, I think that's Braden Elliott. That's gone down there. Ryder is okay. I know that his family will be listening in down there in Australia, but he is okay. But I think that may well be, yes, it is. Confirmation, Braden Elliott, number 51 of Fowler at turn 3 and 4. Ryder is okay. And where was Braden Elliott? Well, he's being shuffled down through the order, and his race is already over. What about Skippy McConnell? He's running 16th. The higher up the leaderboard, of course, the more difficult it's going to get for Skippy McConnell. But what about the leaders? Already they're coming out onto the Wellington Straight. Confirmation then that Ryder okay, and that is the Aussie Braden Elliott. Braden, who is currently making his home in the UK, number 51. Rees 65 1,000 per second ahead of Tim and Tom Neve. They could not be separated. They came through to complete lap number 5. And it is still Rees. Remember, this is the boy making his debut here at the circuit lane, Jess. He's going to wide exit there. He runs a bit wide at Woodcote Corner. That leaves the gap up the inside. Can Tim Neve take it on the Suzuki? No, he can't. He's still back in second place. It is Damon Rees. Damon Rees still leading this one. And Chrissy Rouse has pushes Tom Neve back. So Chrissy Rouse looks like he's moved up ahead of Tom Neve. Let's have a look in real time there, because that's Danny Kent, who's running in 5th place. That then is Rees. And then it's 4 machines wide. Rees, Tim Neve, Chrissy Rouse. That then is Tom Neve. And then behind Tom Neve, that is Danny Kent. That's the order as they go through Beckett's Corner for this, the 7th time of asking. Fastest lap at the moment then in the hands of Tom Neve, 54.728, new lap record. As we conjecture, the lap record would be rewritten, and already that is proving to be the case here at the moment, held now by Tom Neve on the Honda. But that could all change in the remaining laps. Such is the pace, 172 miles an hour for Tim Neve on the Suzuki on the run down the Wellington Straight. Not half bad, is it, for a stock machine, that? We had a change of leaders they go through. We have Tim Neve is now your new leader by half a second. That pushes Damo Rees, the Kiwi, back into second position. 14 Tim Neve by 0.5 of a second from Damo Rees, number 92, just 0.05 ahead of Chrissy Rouse, number 69. Then Tom Neve goes back to 4th place, number 68. Danny Kent, 52, is there 5th. 28 Richardson, 6 Rollo, 89 Rogers, 4 Linfoot, and 23 Allingham, with Hutchie again coming back. Hutchie's picked up another 2 places, comes back up to 11th place now for number 44, Ian Hutchinson. Damo Rees has gone back another 2 places. Damo Rees now is behind Rouse and Tom Neve. He goes back into 4th position at the moment. Does Damo Rees, and who's that that's gone down the road there? That is, that's the number 14, the leader. That's the leader gone down. That's Tim Neve has blown the Suzuki away. That is the leader that has crashed out of this one on the 7th lap lane, gents. The number 14 leading has crashed out. Now, where has he gone down? He rushes to his bike. He gets back on board and then is told by the marshals, you cannot start. That is their bottom. The regulations do not allow you to restart. He went down at Brooklands. He lost the back end at Brooklands and slid gracefully onto the outside. He is okay. He was quickly up onto his feet. But that now shuffles it all about. That is the number 14 who is leading, crashing at Brooklands Corner. So that means that Tom Neve, now his twin brother Tom, is now the leader from Chrissy Rouse. That pushes Damon Rees back up onto the podium once again at this early juncture. And it is early juncture, still some 16 laps to go. Looking behind the leaders, Danny Thayez, he's running in 30th position at the moment. True Love's up to 24th place now. Skippy McConnell, he is running 14th. Luke Jones is running 17th. Remember, these were from the back row of the grid. There's your leading group through. And Rees has gone back up toward the front. Well, looking through on the inside, is that Rees? That's Rollo. No, that's Richardson. That's Richardson on the second of the James Jacksons. That's Rollo and Richardson battling out for 5th and 6th position. And behind them is Fraser Rogers, number 89. So ahead of them will be the leading 4 riders. Tom Neve, Chrissy Rouse, Damon Rees and Danny Kent. They should already be on their way, coming back toward us now to complete lap number 10 of the 24-lapper. And in toward Brooklands then for this 10th time. Just waiting as they come in toward Loffield in, Loffield out. And just look out the window. Just about 20 yards, first and second, 30 yards, second and third, 10 yards, third and fourth as they reel off lap number 10 in the order of Tom Neve, Chrissy Rouse, Damon Rees and Danny Kent. Lewis Rollo goes up a place. That's the number 6 rider, Lewis Rollo, on the J&S Successes IN competition Aprilia. That moves up a place. Poor old Tim Neve, he's still trying to find a way back to the pit lane area. Tim Neve, who crashed out whilst leading. Let's just see. It's the front end. It was the front end that washed out. Whether he was just trailing the front brake, it may well have been that he was just trailing. He's coming down from about 170 miles an hour down to a second gear left-hander and just trailing that front brake whilst he's cranked over. The front end just washed out, and that was it. Wham, bam, slam, and not many thanks to you, ma'am. He is on the long walk back to the garage now. That is Tim Neve. Where are the leaders? They are now coming back in toward our view. Here they come. Big gap between the 4th and 5th, about 2.5 seconds plus, before we'll then get Lewis Rollo going through there. That is Lewis Rollo going through then ahead of the number 28 of Shane Richardson. In fact, Dan Linfoot now just nips up ahead of Richardson as they complete that lap. So Dan Linfoot, having his first ever ride in the Stock 1000s, now goes up to 7th place, running for Michael Rutter and for Bathams. This, incidentally, is not the bike that Richard Cooper crashed at Donington Park when he sustained the broken leg. He just about totaled the bike. The bike was totaled at Donington Park, the bike of Richard Cooper. This is a brand new bike built up for Dan Linfoot in the Bathams colours. And the leaders then are back in toward Brooklands. Make that in toward Luffield. 68, Tom Neve, the Black Peril, leads Chrissy Rouse in second place. Chrissy Rouse running on the BMW for Phil Crow performance, but he actually leases this bike from Phil Crow and foots all the bills himself. Does the mathematics teacher from Geordie Land in third place. Then it is Damon Rees. Damon Rees, if anything, has now secured that place ahead of Danny Kent. The gap behind Damo Rees's rear boot and Danny Kent's front wheel has increased to just over half a second. And then almost 3 seconds back on Danny Kent is Rollo, Linfoot, Rogers, Richardson, Hutchinson, Allingham. That's your top 10. Hedger, McConnell up now to 12th place. Weaving, Todd, Winfield. That's your top 15. Jaycock, Sheldon Shaw, Teasdale, Truelove, Dan Cooper, McNeely, Philp, Williams, Tinmouth, Wood, Hopkins, Craigney, Tunstall, Danny Sayers, and then it is the number 99 of Robert Hodson. Have a quick look on the second screen just to see if we've got any other riders still circulating out there. 30 riders, I think we have. 30 places we've given you, and indeed behind 30th, 31st is 35 Smith, 61 Bellows, 22 McKay, and 29 Ben Broadway. Looks as if Luke Jones's race was over some laps ago, 3 laps ago. Number 82, Luke Jones. Tim Neve, we know, crashed out, and Brian Elliott also crashed out. Riders okay as we go back with the race leaders. And the leaders now on to lap number 14. At a new lap record, Tom Neve 54.728 for the Stock 1000s. 0.27 of a second advantage to Tom Neve over Chrissy Rouse at the end of lap number 13. Just picking up out there on the circuit with the number 12 of Luke Butchie Hedger, just a whisker ahead of Skippy McConnell, number 3, with that beautifully liveried black number 3 BMW with the gold lettering of Rich Energy OMG. It looks so much like the old John Player colours here that, I can remember sitting in the grandstand here watching the late Ronnie Peterson with the John Player Lotus battling here all those years ago. But what a beautiful livery that is for the Rich Energy OMG entry number 3 as Skippy McConnell. They've patently not got the suspension set up as Skippy would like it. That back end is beginning to judder and trying to break away as he came through Woodcote Corner. Just see if any moves there. Skippy up now to 10th place. He's now hunting down on Ian Hutchinson. But where are the leaders? They are already through Beckett's on their way down the Wellington Straight. And if I look out of my commentary box, I can look across then as they emerge back in toward the left-hander of Brooklands. And from that point on, there are the 2 leaders, the 3 leaders, the 4 leaders now into view. If anything, the gap has come down between first and second. I think that Chrissy Rouse is now beginning to muster his forces here. He's beginning to light the blue touch paper. Is Chrissy Rouse in second place, 0.4 of a second it was as they completed lap number 14. They go through to complete lap number 15. It's just on 0.3 of a second. Neve, Rouse, Rees, Kent, Rolo, Linfoot, Rogers, Richardson, Hutchinson, McConnell, your top 10, no change there. Davy Todd on the second of the black Hondas moves up a place. He goes up to 12th place, number 74. And another rider walking forlornly away. We'll get an indication as to who that rider was momentarily. Rider, that's one of the True Heroes riders. That will be, I'll come to it momentarily, but that's the True Heroes rider who's perfectly okay and walking away. Rider perfectly okay. That was up at Beckett's, I think. It was Davy Sellers. Davy Salty Sellers. That would be what? Number 61, Davy Salty Sellers for the True Heroes squad. That has tipped off, number 61. For at turns 3 and 4, that's up toward Beckett's. Tom Neve and Reese have gone through, 0.3. Danny Kent now is coming back at this. He's gone ahead of Damo Reese. Damo Reese pushed back to 4th. Danny Kent, the former Moto3 world champion, now up into 3rd position, number 52. Running out there for Platform Hire, Morello Racing on the Kawasaki, and K-Tech Suspension sorting out the handling of that bike for Danny Kent, number 52. Danny, who had a 3rd at Donington Park, and then a disappointing 9th place at Snetterton. Riders getting put 1 lap in arrears, and that then will be Dave McKay, the second of the True Heroes riders, being put 1 lap in arrears. Yes, he is. He moves out of the way gently as they go in toward Luffield in and Luffield out. And here comes the black Honda of number 68, Tom Neve. I think that may have given him slightly more advantage over Chrissy Rouse in second place. That last lap, 55-1, 55-4, 55 1-2. If anything, Danny Kent is now coming back into reckoning. Equally so, Damon Reese. Damon Reese, that last lap was the best of any of the front runners. Everybody else in the 55s, Damon Reese in the 54s. So Damon Reese, number 92, beginning to get a second win here. The 25-year-old from Wakatoni in New Zealand. The Maori name with an unfortunate English pronunciation, which if I was to tell you what it was, ladies and gents, I'd be taken off the air, never to work in broadcasting again. So we will stick with what we know, the Wakatoni name. The runner-up in the New Zealand Winter Series actually came up against Richard Cooper out there in New Zealand. I think that may well have been the seed sown by Richard Cooper for Damo to come across to join his club buddy Shane Richardson in the James Jackson team. Just leaders then, here we go. 0.15 of a second, Chrissy Rouse. Want to keep our eyes visually now on the leaders, because Chrissy Rouse is definitely on the springboard here, ready to mount the challenge for the lead here. Tom Neve has it at the moment. He doesn't, because Chrissy Rouse goes through. Chrissy Rouse goes through on the left-hander of Maggotts. Well, you could see that was coming. And Chrissy Rouse, has he outbraked himself though at Beckett's? Yes, he has. And he's handed it back on a platter at Beckett's as he just entered into the tight right-hander too fast, ran wide, and Tom Neve comes back at him with a Honda. But Neve now knows he's got a battle there with him right on his hands. Well, he came through like a Scud missile, did Chrissy Rouse. Unfortunately, the Scud missile missed its target in toward Beckett's. And here up to complete lap number 19. He's got to do it all over again now as Chrissy Rouse. And he's just about in the same position as he was 1 lap earlier to have a second bite of the cake through to complete lap number 20, or into lap number 20. 19 gone, into lap number 20. Tom Neve, Chrissy Rouse, Danny Kent. Danny Kent again slowly is... Well, if anything, he lost a 10th. No, he lost a 10th backwards on that lap. So I think that what we're looking here is the battle between the gold step and the silver step here. Gold step at the moment, Tom Neve. Silver step at the moment is Chrissy Rouse. And I think that Danny Kent has seen off the challenge from Damon Reese, the Kiwi. Danny Kent, the number 52 rider, racing out of Tetbury in Gloucestershire. Very famous down that part of the world for its Roman heritage. The Romans, when they came to this country all those years ago, well, the Roman Emperor in that 3rd place is Danny Kent, and it looks like if he can keep his nose clean here, which he didn't do at Donington Park. Remember, on the very last lap, he threw the plot away at McLean's corner and lost 4th place on the last lap, did Danny Kent at Donington.
I think it was here at Silverstone, Fred, 5 years ago, that he took his last victory when he romped to that wet Moto 3 en route to the World Championship. according to my records, he's never won. I don't think he's going to win this one unless something happens to Tom Neve and Chrissy Rouse.
No, you're absolutely right.
Significant that Silverstone, the Grand Prix circuit, is where the third-place rider last got a victory. 6
wins that year, and it was Silverstone that was his last victory. You're absolutely right, and boy, did he make heavy weather of those last few races. Oh, and that's a rider going straight on there across at Beckett's. That's Dan Linford. Dan Linford, well, taking the holiday route, the scenic route, taking in the scenery here, Dan Linford. He was almost on his way down towards Stoke Corner before he got it back under control and rejoins the circuit. He's going to be a long, long way back, is the number 4 now, who overshot at Beckett's. But he safely rejoins the course, as we should have the leaders coming up to complete lap number 21. And you kind of get the feeling in your water that this is the break now for victory by Tom Neve, number 68. Let's not forget that Tom Neve is your championship leader from Chrissy Rouse, and they run first and second in the championship. They run first and second in the race at the moment, and if they stay where they are, that 5 points is going to double up to a 10-point advantage to the Honda-mounted Tom Neve. He's got to keep it clean, though, in toward Beckett's. He ain't home yet, and what's the old saying? Many a slip twixt cup and lip. Dan Linfoot lost 4 places by overshooting Beckett's that last time around. The running order last time: Tom Neve, Chrissy Rouse, Danny Kent, Damon Rees, Lewis Rollo, Fraser Rogers, Ian Hutchinson, Shane Richardson, Skippy McConnell, and Dan Linfoot completing the top 10, followed by Todd, Hedges, Weaving, Winfield, Allingham completing the top 15. Outside the points: Jaycock, Trulove, Sheldon Shaw, Teasdale, Dan Cooper, McNeely, Tommy Philp, Tinmouth, Craig Leaf, Hopkins, Danny Thayers, Wood, Tunstall, Williams, and Hodson as we go back with the leaders. And this now into lap number 23 of the 24-lapper, and that is a half a second, and I fancy that is just a little bit too much to be retrieved here by Chrissy Rouse. Half a second advantage now to number 68, Tom Neve. Tom Neve, along with brother Tim, who made their mark in the British flat track racing world in the British Championships. They went out to compete against Marc Marquez at the Supermoto. That Marc Marquez organises out there, as we're looking now for the leaders coming into ward. I'm looking at live time. There are the 2 leaders through Brooklands. Turn it away right-handers, stay on the right-hand side of the tyre into Luffield in, hold it on the right-hand side, Luffield out. Now accelerate now as hard as you can, getting up to 120, 130, 140 miles now on the run across the start-finish line to reel off lap number 23, and in to the final lap for the race leaders is Fraser Rogers. He's got his hands full here. Fraser Rogers, that's the battle going on ahead of Ian Hutchinson. Ian Hutchinson on the Edwards 1902 BMW there, number 44, as we go back with the leaders. Tom Neve from Chrissy Rouse. Half a second it was as they started this lap. Just watching Damo Rees ahead of Lewis Rollo. Damo Rees, who's running 4th, Lewis Rollo running 5th. And Rollo's getting closer all the time on the J&S Accessories IN competition, Aprilia. But we want to see Tom Neve, and Tom Neve now should be coming in toward Brook. There he is. I'll pick up with the binoculars, look out of the window and across toward the excellent Brooklands, in toward Luffield, and he's just got to keep the dirty side down, the clean side up, and victory is going to be his, and an extended British Championship lead. It's going to go up to 10 points, ladies and gents, and for Tom Neve, he comes across the line, and number 68, Tom Neve, picks up win number 3 of the year as they go across the line. He gets home by 0.65 of a second ahead of Chrissy Rouse, who comes home by 4.5 ahead of Danny Kent, who is 1.07 ahead of Damon Rees. And then it is number 6, Lewis Rollo from 89. Fraser Rogers, a faller on that last lap. A couple of fallers on that last lap, which we'll come to momentarily. Fraser Rogers came home in 6th place, Nadine. As the checker flag goes out, the red flag goes out as well at the same time. Fraser Rogers, 89, came home 6th. Ian Hutchinson, 44, came home 7th. The number 28, in fact, there are 3 fallers there. Danny Sires is one of them, and the other faller down there looks to me as if that is Rob McNeely. That will be on the last lap going in toward turn number 1. Let's just have a pause there. Certainly Danny Sires is one of them. Rob McNeely is the other one, so that will be 26 Danny Sires, 30 Rob McNeely. And I think there's a third rider as well. We will await to get confirmation of that one. But whilst we are awaiting on that, let's just go back to the finishing order. And with the red flag coming out, they will actually checkered flag numbers 30, 26 and 27. Was the third faller. I gave you the 30 and the 26. It was Josh Wood who was the third faller. And we just await upon the... if I could find my rule book here. We'll just go back to my rule book because the checkered flag, the red flag coming out on the same lap as the checkered flag. I think that in that situation is as per the finishing order, which will confirm, or certainly will confirm, the top 8 as 68 Tom Neve, 69 Chrissy Rouse, 52 Danny Kent, 92 Damon Rees, 6 Lewis Rolo, 89 Fraser Rogers, 44 Ian Hutchinson, and 28 that is Shane Richardson. I think then it will be Skippy McConnell, number 3, ahead of Dan Linfoot, number 4, Davey Todd, 74, Luke Edger, number 12, Jordan Weaving, 34, Sean Winfield, number 8, and the final point going the way of number 23, David Allingham. Outside the points then, 55, Leon Jaycock, 59, Truelove, 10, Sheldon Shaw, 24, Teasdale, 20, Dan Cooper, 32. Good ride that by Tommy Philp for solo ride. Next time he races will be tomorrow on the solo, but then it will be the sidecars for him in 2 weeks' time. Then 9, Craig Neves, 30, McNeely, 25, Tinmouth. Well, of course, McNeely will be taken out there, because as also will Saez, Gutierrez and Wood, because they did not complete the distance. So what we'll do, we'll just pause at that point and wait for the official result to come through to us with regard to those lower championship points. A quick tot-up of the points, though, does indicate that Tom Neve will go on to 86 points. Chrissy Rouse, he will go on to 76 points. 86 then leads 76. Damon Rees, 25, 2016, 13. He'll stay third in the championship on 55 points. Skippy McConnell got a wait on that one. And then Tim Neve, well, he will stay on 33. Matt Truelove will stay on 23. Joe Collier, well, he won't score. Danny Kent, 25, 2016. Danny Kent will go on to 39 points. I think Danny Kent may well move up into the top 5 as a result of that particular placing. But we are just awaiting on the... Let me just get my rule book out on this, the MCRCB rule book, when the red flag comes out on the very last lap as the checkered flag. By the time I find the appropriate page,
either way, as Fred was saying, it doesn't affect the top
top 8
8.
isn't. I was just really interested on Skippy McConnell's place in there, because Skippy, of course, running 4th in the point scoring as to what points we will add to his particular score. I think what I'll do, I'll put that to one side and await upon the official result to come through to us here. But a cracking ride there by Tom Neve on that one. Poor old Tim Neve. There's a question of things that might have been for Tim Neve there. I can only think, Larry, I don't know whether you saw the action on the screen there, but that was certainly trail braking into toward Brooklands, coming down from about 170 miles an hour down to, 55 miles an hour, second gear for that left-hander, and just trail braking the front, and away went the Bill Bay Suzuki of number 14, the Hawk Neve Racing Suzuki of Tim Neve. I think a certain Guy Martin tends to assist the Neve boys. It's a very close fraternity up there in Lincolnshire.
Yeah, Guy has referred to the Neve twins in a number of his books. They are fairly close neighbours. They're very, very good mates as well. And I know that Guy used to use some of the land that the Neve family had to do various bits and pieces for his TV shows on. So they are good buddies. But yeah, as far as Tim Neve is concerned, that was just the front end classic washout, wasn't it? I think you're right. I think he just carried a little bit too much speed.